I have forgiven him. A few days later, the angel comes, and the hadith is sahih with the same. He says, Allah, remember that person? He committed the sin, he asked for forgiveness, you forgave him? He asked for forgiveness, you can forgive him again? Now he went back and he committed the same sin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this time don't forgive him. What is this? Yani he's going back and he's committing the same sin over and over and asking for forgiveness and asking for forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angel, and to teach us something which is very important in the core of this subject, which is what? عَلِمَ أَنَّ لَهُ رَبْ يَغْفِرُ الذَّنْبِ اِشْهَدُوا يَا مَلَائِكَةِ أَنِّي قَدْ غَفَرْتُ لَهُ فَلْيَصْنَعْ عَبْدِي مَا شَاءَ. This person, he knows that he has a Lord that forgives all sins. My servants, number one, witness that I've forgiven all of his sins. Number two, from now until the day of judgment, he does whatever he does, he's going to Jannah. He knows and he confirms in his heart that he has a Lord that forgives all sins. From now until the day of judgment, I have forgiven him. He can do whatever he wants. He's from the people of Jannah. So you want to have taqwa, the first prerequisite is you never want to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you very quickly do what? You make tawbah and repent and run to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you continue in that taqwa. The second thing is you have the iman that protects you. You have the knowledge of Allah that protects you. You know the names and attributes of Allah. One of the most important things is knowing the names and attributes of Allah in your own life. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. Allah says in the Quran, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. The Prophet ﷺ says, إِنَّ لِلَّهِ 99 إِسْمًا مَنْ أَحْصَاهَا دَخَلَ الْجَنَّةِ. Allah has 99 names and attributes. Whoever understands them and lives by them and learns them is guaranteed Jannah. Those names is to know that He's Shadid al-Iqab, that His punishment is severe, so you're afraid of it and you live afraid of the punishment of Allah. One of the names of Allah is that He's the Ghafur, the Rahim. He's the most forgiving, and so you always repent and ask His forgiveness. One of His names is He is a Razzaq. So when you are going through a hardship and you need the mercy and grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you go to what? To the mercy, and you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open His doors of mercy and grace before you go to anyone else. And that is why even in recent times, a person went to one of the scholars and said, Ya Imam, and this happened recently, about 2 years ago. He said, I am working in this company over 12 years. Everybody gets promoted except for me. So I want you to make, I want you to speak to this person or speak to that person, because this Imam was very well known publicly. He said, I want you to speak to my boss or to someone, as they say, wasta, someone who knows someone to maybe get me this promotion. And the Imam said, Wallahi, I know one that will solve all of your problems. He said, who? He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, tonight kneel qiyam and pray to who? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many times are we stuck in a situation? And before we run to brother so and so and so and ask so and call so and we worry and we scream and shout? Do we say, no, tonight in the third part of the night, I'm going to make sujood and ask of who? Ask of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the man is telling the story. He said, Wallahi, when he said, ask Allah, when I said, who is that one? And he said, Allah. He said, it's the first time, it's as if the first time I hear about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, I made qiyam. And I went to my company. In 12 years, he said, that was the first time that I'm walking in the door, and I'm walking with the same time with the CEO of the company. And the CEO of the company holds my hand, Salaam alaikum, where are you? I haven't seen you in a very long time. Why don't you come and stop by my office and we'll drink coffee together? And the one he drank coffee, he said, how long have you been in this position? He said, this long and this long and this. No, you deserve a promotion. When you do what? When you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the meaning of taqwa, that we build what? First, you're considered, love Allah, mindful of Allah, fearful of Allah. You don't want to commit a sin. But if you commit a sin, you make repent. You repent, you repent, you repent. If it's the same sin, if it's 100 times, 1,000 times, what do? Repent to Allah. Because there is no sin big enough that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive it. The second thing, you have Allah in your heart. Meaning what? That you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much, you're mindful of Allah, you're conscious of Allah so much, that you always are mindful of Him, you always ask Him. And that is what we need to teach ourselves, put in our hearts, and teach our children. The Prophet ﷺ used to teach the kids, and what was it? He says, Ya Mu'ad, Na'am ya Rasulullah, fasakat. يا معاذ نعم يا رسول الله فسكت. يا معاذ نعم يا رسول الله فسكت. The Prophet ﷺ says, Mu'adh. He says, yes, Prophet of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ is quiet. Second time, Mu'adh. Yes, Prophet of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ is quiet. Third time, Ya Mu'adh. Why? Because in the Arabic language, if you read the hadith, you find so many hadith where they say the Prophet ﷺ repeated it what? 3 times. He said it 3 times. Why? Because in the Arabic language, when you repeat something 3 times, it means it's something that's what? Very, very, very important. And that's why when you read the hadith, so many hadith, and he said the Prophet ﷺ repeated it what? 3 times. وَأَعَادَهَا ثَلَاث وَقَالَهَا ثَلَاث. And he said it 3 times. And repeated it 3 times. So now he's saying, Mu'adh, yes. He doesn't say anything. It means what I'm about to tell you, Mu'adh, is something that is very, very, very important. So this 3rd time, Mu'adh ibn Jabal says what? Now I'm ready for what the Prophet ﷺ is about to say. I know it's something that is very critical and very important. What does the Prophet ﷺ says? احفظ الله يحفظ. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. إذا سألت فاستعن بالله. وإذا واعلم أن الأمة إذا اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء ها
لا ينفعوك إلا بشيء كتبه الله لك
ولو اجتمعت على يضروك بشيء
لا يضروك إلا بشيء كتبه الله لك
رفع القلم وجفت الصحف. Imagine if we have this in our hearts. Mu'adh, be mindful of Allah, have taqwa of Allah, be conscious of Allah in everything that you say and you do, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you. And Allah will what? Protect you. Be mindful of Allah, and Allah will always be in front of you. Meaning, making opening a path for you. Opening a path for you, opening a path for you. If you ask, ask of Allah. If you prostrate before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and know that if every single person in the world wants to protect you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want it to happen for you, that protection happens for you, it's going to fall on you. And know that if every single person in the world wants to give you and bless you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want it on you, it will never happen. If they want to hold back something from you, from the mercy and grace of Allah, and Allah wants to give it to you, no one can stop it. Why? رُفِعَ الْقَلَمُ وَجَفَّتِ الصُّحُفُ. Wallah, if we have this in our heart, we will start to taste the beauty of taqwa. That's the problem. Our problem is we honestly today, we don't have that iman. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm worried about the economy. I'm worried about my job. I'm worried about this person might do this, and my boss at work, and my this and that, and I want to please this person, I want to please that person, and when I ask Allah, how long do I ask Allah? It's 1 minute after Salah. If I don't have to, if I have a, that is why our taqwa is so minimal. But if we have this meaning in our hearts, and we teach it to our kids, that if you are mindful and protective of Allah, He will protect you, no matter what. Umar ibn al-Khattab, in a very nice story, is traveling in the desert from the path of Mecca, in the long journey for the Prophet ﷺ to talk to certain people by the area of Jeddah. And they go in there and they have not eaten in 2 days. They have not eaten in 2 days. And then they pass by a little village. And in that village, it's Umar ibn al-Khattab and 2 of the Sahaba, younger Sahaba. They pass by a village and they haven't eaten in 2 days, no food, in the middle of the desert. They go and stop by a shepherd, and they talk to the shepherd and this and that. And one of the people with Umar ibn al-Khattab, those 2 men, he looks at the shepherd and he says, you know what? Give us one of your sheep. He says, how much are you going to pay for it? He said, we don't have money with us, but my father is so-and-so. When I go back to Mecca, I will send you the money. Umar ibn al-Khattab said to the man, no. Did his father say he's going to pay it? No. So you can't sell it to him. Imagine, he wants to buy the sheep so he would feed Umar and he and the other person. They haven't eaten in 2 days. Umar ibn al-Khattab says, no, it's haram what you're about to do. You can't sell it to him. That's his father's money. It's not his money. He can't sell and buy based on his father's money without his father's permission. Don't sell it to him. They haven't eaten in 2 days. In 2 days, khalas, even if it's haram, eat it. But Umar ibn Khattab has so much taqwa to the point that he's saying, no,